everyone. To Die For Games had the amazing opportunity to attend Ottawa Comicon 2016. Here's me, the board gaming pinup girl, trying to figure out how to use this GoPro selfie stick contraption thing. Thanks, Matt. We got to see some really fun things, some odds and sods, figurines are always a favorite, game bits and pieces, and some really exciting cosplay. We also met some amazing people who were kind enough to give us some interviews. And how can we forget all the awesome games? So, I thought it best that we start with an easy question for everyone. What's your favorite game? Let's start at Kobold's Corner.
So hi everyone, it's Mandi, aka the Board Gaming Pinup Girl. We are here with
Kobold's Corner, and my name is Tony. I am one of the resident game sellers here, or game experts, I guess. But the game I have for you today is called Tragedy Looper. Now, this game is really anime in its art aesthetic, but the cool thing about it is it's a one versus many game. So it plays up to 4 people, and one person is the mastermind. They're the one that kind of goes off and triggers all of these nasty things that will kill people. Maybe it's a giant time bomb hidden somewhere. It could be a witch that's trying to control the whole world. But what happens is the mastermind knows all of these things are going to happen, and he's going to try and trigger them off. The protagonists, the other 3 players of the game, are going to be trying to stop this. The really interesting thing about it is, the way that it works is because it's a time travel game, you have 4 rounds to try and figure out everything that's going to happen. It might be more, it might be less. But generally speaking, you have a set number of rounds that are your loops. This is the time travel phases, so on certain days you'll know something's going to happen. A person might go missing, someone might commit suicide. There's some really dark, grim stuff in here, but you're trying to figure it all out as a protagonist, and the mastermind's just the puppeteer in the background pulling all the strings. If you guys want like a really cool, brain-burny, puzzly game with an anime aesthetic, this is one of the coolest games out there right now.
See, this excites me. I was huge into anime back in the day. I mean, I still love it. So it's kind of fun to see something kind of like creepy but anime, so it's kind of cute at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Definitely appeals to me. I love the art. It has a dark background but still that bright anime kind of color. Who's the artist? Do we know offhand?
Don't know the artist offhand. It might actually be the designer of the game here, Pocket Fire, which is a Japanese game design company. So this game came out in Japan about 4 years ago, and it made it Canada side a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I see it's Z9 Games.
Z9, gotta love it.
Pretty cool, yeah, we were there not too long ago, so I'm definitely enjoying their game design right now. Very cool.
Like I said, you guys want a cool game with some one versus many, really brain-burny. Hurts you to think sometimes, but one of the best games I've played in a long time.
Brain burning, we love it. Anyways, thank you so much for showing that to us.
No problem.
Hi everyone, it's Mandi, the Board Gaming Pinup Girl with To Die For Games. I'm here at Ottawa Comicon 2016, and I'm here with Jillian with the Wizard's Tower.
Yeah.
She is going to tell us about her favorite game. So, tell us your favorite game.
My favorite game right now to play is the Game of Thrones board game. So basically, your entire goal is to try and get seven kingdoms by the end of the game. It's really fun because you actually get to play with the houses that you see in the series. So you get to be a Stark or a Baratheon or a Lannister, and if you get the expansions, you actually get to be a Targaryen. But it's mostly just in the 7 kingdoms, and the whole goal is to just like battle all of your friends and try and take over as much territory as possible. You can cheat each other, you can backstab, and the whole thing is just so much fun, especially when you're playing with this universe that you like so much, right? So it's really cool. It's basically Game of Thrones plus Risk.
Which I'm really excited, and I'm going to say this, I have not had time to play this game. I keep getting told how amazing it is. So now I know, wink wink over here, who I'm going to come see to teach me how to play. So how long would you say is an average game?
The game is usually more about 2 hours, but it usually takes about 3 hours to learn how to play. 3 to 4, depending on, how difficult. If you're playing with a whole bunch of new people, and it's all new people, 4 hours, but if it's like, people who are some new, some old, then 3 hours probably.
Anybody who's played the heavy games like, Gallerist, Food Chain Magnate, you all know it's a learning curve, but it's all worth it in the end, right?
Definitely.
Awesome. So
Great.
Thanks so much for telling us about your favorite game, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye! I'm here with
Tyler
from
Castle Run Games.
Yes, so we're excited to talk a little bit about what else? Board gaming. So let's start off with an easy question. What's your favorite board game?
It's a toss-up between a few. I'm a big fan of Pandemic, which we're doing tournaments and demos here for today, but it's a great game by Z-Man. It came out a couple years ago, and it's selling great fun.
I'm here with
Mike Martin from Dark Age Comics.
Yes, so we have a quick question for him, of course, about board gaming. So tell us about your favorite board game.
Oh, my most recent favorite board game I started playing was Galaxy Trucker. It's
Oh, that's a good one.
It is. First time I played it, I thought I got the concept of the game pretty good, and we went for round 2, and realized that the structural integrity is a key component to this game. Because if you don't quite put your pieces in the right place, when your ship leaves space dock, you may not have your entire ship to complete your mission during the game. So it was a really fun game in regard to that there were so many different elements, not just the building of the ship, but you have to prepare for what could be coming down the road in the game. So I really like it for the novelty of it all, to be honest, compared to the usual strategy of just your regular points games that are out there.
Yeah, and I know this is a really popular one, so Galaxy Truck, if you haven't tried it, that was a good time. So thanks so much for that, and we'll see you next time, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Hi, everyone. It's Mandy, the board gaming pinup girl. I'm here with Lisa, the comic book shop, and of course, looking at board games. So, how you doing?
I'm doing great today, Mandy.
Awesome. So, my first question to you is, let's start something easy. What's your favorite board game?
My favorite board game right now is Smash Up.
Smash Up. A lot of people like that one. Do you have all the expansions?
I do. I carry all 5 expansions and the big geeky box.
Oh, see, magic words right there. So, what's your favorite expansion, and can you tell us a little bit about the game for those who don't know?
It is a card game, technically not a board game, but it's super easy to teach, super fun to play. It can be cooperative, or you can go after your friends, so that's why it's one of my favorite games.
Go after your friends, my favorite type of game.
Now that we know what some of the favorites are, it's time to see what we played at Ottawa Comicon 2016.
Come on, big buddy, I need at least. Oh my god! Oh my god!
So now it's down to 0 and I get this last
Oh, that sucks.
You need a full.
I need
you need
a lot.
6 to get there.
You need a 6.
You need 6 to get there.
Could do it.
Wait, so that'd be 1,
No.
2, 3,
No.
4. He only needs 4. No!
Yeah, you need a 6. You need a 6.
So I need to roll 2 threes.
That's right.
Oh! We all died.
So in order.
Obviously, the game, we are all hitmen, right? And the object of the game is to kill our 3 targets, right? What I'm going to do, this here represents the city. These are all different people in the city. These tiles, there's 1 tile for every character. There's no duplication, all right? So I'm going to give out your targets, right? Everyone has 3 targets. Now the object is also to do this in secret. Okay, you don't want to reveal who your targets are to the other players. You also don't want to reveal your hitman, right? Because I'm going to now be giving you a tile with a token on it. This is who you are on the board.
Oh, okay.
This is you.
Oh, okay.
Just to remind you which tile it is.
I'm gonna get one from each ball.
Oh, I'm sexy. All right.
Dead. What happens in that case is that we're going to look at the board and see who could potentially kill that person. Now a hitman is armed with 3 weapons. The knife, the revolver, and the sniper rifle. Right? And you can use each weapon in only very specific situations. A knife can be used only if you occupy the same space as the target. Right? The revolver can be used if only the distance of 1 square away. Right? The sniper rifle is special. It can be used at any distance. Right? However, it must be in a straight line. There are no diagonals in this game. Okay? And you must also be on an elevated position, right? A good vantage point, which is indicated by the blue outline on the tile. So in this specific situation, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential killers. Right? They could have used a sniper rifle. They could have used the revolver. Right? Now, the moment that this happens, where somebody dies, right? Hopefully, it's one of your targets. Right? You reveal your target. You say, "This is my target." You score a point for that at the end of the game. And what happens is that the policeman will appear on the board to investigate the crime. Now, policemen are very special because during your turn, this is another action you can do is you can check someone's identity. So theoretically, I could move this policeman here, and I can check that character's identity. I have to choose a player and ask, is this your character? If it is your character, I take your hitman. You are under arrest. I will get a point at the end of the game for having arrested you. You will be out of the game. However, you can still use the policeman to check other people's identities and score points. Right?
No, it's mine.
And also, the policeman has another special effect on the game, is that it exerts a peacekeeping zone around the policeman. So no killing on the square where the policeman is, and one square adjacent to the policeman.
Okay.
No matter what the weapon is, you can kill. Like for instance, he could shoot that person with a sniper rifle. Right, that's legal, but he cannot commit the crime because he's in the zone.
Okay.
So if I had to move the police officer into a space where I think the person is, right?
I'm gonna get a dice bag too.
I think that's you. I thought it might be based on like that kill earlier.
Right, right.
And it's only one.
You move and you
choose. That's right.
Can you
That's what I
move
thought.
police officers, or you're not allowed to move a police officer on your turn? It's just a character. Oh, you can.
Yeah,
You can move anything.
Yeah, you can move anybody.
He looks like a no-nonsense police officer.
I know, right?
Gorilla.
It's like none of that. None of that.
Reminds me of the bouncer from Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, a little bit, eh?
Oh, did I? And did I not? Oh,
Let's keep the peace. Hold on. This character dies. So I have fulfilled my contract.
Oh, so everyone gets.
You were the first player, right?
I was the first. So I get my last turn. Or
No, it's the end of the game.
That's the end of the
That's
game.
it.
the end of the game.
So,
Alright.
okay, so then you would have had to
were
then
the walrus.
one of these two, eh?
I was not the walrus.
You're not the walrus. That would've
No,
been my
this
next-
is me.
What?
This is me.
The walrus?
Oh, you were the walrus.
Yeah, that's why I had to move other characters, because if I moved it, you would totally know that it was
You were
me.
like, this is me, and I'm like, that's
was
not
a
you.
fire-
That's me.
I was super stoked for this interview with Mike Rooth. He is so talented.
Hi everyone, it's Mandy, the board gaming pinnacle with To Die For Games. I'm at Ottawa Comicon 2016, and I'm sitting here with Mike Rooth. Say hi.
Hello, how are you?
So we want to get a couple questions in for you.
Sure.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm a freelance art mercenary. I've been working since the mid-90s doing professional art at pretty much every corner in the industry. I've done lots of children's books, advertising, small charity stuff, big corporate stuff. I did a little bit of work for Marvel in the early 2000s. I've worked with DC and Walking Dead properties over the years. And in the past 6 years or so, I've been hammering on doors and trying to get into comics because I had a long career doing children's books for Scholastic and Rubicon Publishing in a few places. And when that job died, I had to I was 35 years old, I had to figure out something to do to pay the rent, so I literally just took to the streets and was trading drawings for sandwiches for a while. And kind of living really rough, but living and dying by my brush. So since then, I've been knocking on doors and trying to get more comic book work, and it's been happening. I've done some stuff for Captain Canuck now. I've done some stuff for Red Sonja and Conan. A little bit of Dark Horse stuff. A little bit of stuff for Fubar Press. So things are happening. It's been a long road, but things are starting to happen now.
That's pretty awesome. I'm sure all of you have a little bit of that you are familiar with. And coming up, obviously talking about board games, we are all about board gaming. Have you thought about potentially collaborating with someone who publishes games or is creating games? Ever crossed your path at all?
Yeah, actually, early in my career, one of the first jobs I had was doing a board game, doing all the artwork for a board game. It was actually a Canadian history board game that they were trying to make Canadian history interesting for kids, and so they had historical artifacts and little bits of wildlife and landscapes, and I had to do paintings of all these things, which ended up on activity cards for the game. So that was a fun experience. It was a ton of work, and there was actually a Canadian version and an American version. So it was a couple of years of just painting little tiny icons of different American and Canadian things. But I've always wanted to do game stuff. I mean, I got some of my work early in my career in role-playing games, more so than board games, like Shadowrun. I had some stuff for Shadowrun and Warhammer 40k and Warpstone magazine, things like that. So, yeah, good stuff like that. But I'd love to do some board game stuff. I've always wanted to, yeah.
So there you go, board gamers or creators. Got a guy right here who would be amazing in the board game world. So keep an eye on that. And anything that's coming out that we need to know about from you.
Well, Mike, it's about a year and a half late now, but I've been working on a Viking horror story with my wife called Widow's Wake. We've both had a really challenging year, so personal projects have to get put to the side when real work comes in, unfortunately. But the book is coming eventually. I'm not going to release it until it's absolutely exactly what I want. So if you're still waiting, I promise you it's coming, but it's just going to be a little while.
That sounds awesome. I love Vikings, so I am very excited for this project.
Awesome.
So thanks so much, Mike, for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Awesome, and we'll see you next episode.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Of course, no video is complete without some final thoughts.
So what do you think is on the rise for board games? Like maybe what kind of mechanic or maybe what type of game?
Well, miniature games are definitely a big game right now. Things like Zombicide and Imperial Assault and Rebellion. A lot of Star Wars games are on the rise, even though they're higher end games. They're super popular. But we have a lot of people coming in for group card games as well. So Coup, Werewolf, Resistance, and Codenames is a huge game right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. We play Codenames quite a bit. Oh my gosh, even at work all the time. But I noticed that about the miniatures, even on Kickstarter. I think it's who's it? Cool Mini? There's a company that tends to make...
Mini or Not
Yes.
makes Zombicide, and they are big into a lot of the mini games. So they tend to kickstart first, and then come in, and we get them in store after.
Yeah, no, I've definitely noticed that's on the rise. And I mean, if you like painting miniatures, that's awesome. But you can also choose not to, and it still looks really cool. So I'm definitely in for that.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you've noticed that's changed about board gaming? Like I know before people talk about Monopoly, they talk about, those kind of classic games which were long and maybe not broken so much, but there wasn't very much to choose from.
Well, yeah, there's definitely a lot of variety now, from your small quick card games to your longer board games. But I think the big difference is that everybody's involved, from your 5 to 7-year-olds all the way up to your 60-year-olds. Everybody is playing together in groups, and people want stuff that they can play as a couple at home, but then they can teach to their family members, or they can bring out to a restaurant even and play in groups and with larger family members. So it's definitely changed in that direction, I think. So it's not just, just a stay-at-home kind of thing anymore. It's definitely grown across the board.
Absolutely, definitely becoming a bit more popular with kids, groups, family, coworkers. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So thanks so much, Lisa, for joining us
You're
today
very
Board Game.
welcome.
And it's aka the Board Gaming Pinup Girl, Mandi, signing off. See you next time.
Take care.
Bye.
Well, that's it. That's our brief rendition of our visit to Ottawa Comicon 2016. But don't cry, we'll be there again next year. So, until next year, thanks for having us. Bye for now.